Now he's in the hood rapping about weed, but a fun with weed is a fun indeed. What's up, Hellraiser? Welcome back to yet again another movie review, and we are the Leprechaun in the Hood, which is Leprechaun 5 basically, but it's just titled Leprechaun in the Hood. And boy, roller coaster ride, you know? We just roller coasting our way through this fucking thing. Boy, this Leprechaun film is just like part 3. It's the most that I've ever watched, and I have the most fun with it. But before I dive into all the good, the bad, and the ugly, let me tell you what this movie is about. This movie tells you a story about the green little monster, the green little midget, the magical little midget, finds himself in the hood with some gangsters who stole his flute, and now he got to go to the hood to obtain, or should I say, get back his flute. So Leprechaun 5, or should I say Leprechaun in the Hood, is just one of those films I saw when I was younger, and I always watched it over and over and over because it was so good, it was bad. This is another definition, excuse me, another one of those definitions I talk about. It's so bad, it's good. So my first pro with this movie would have to be the change of pace. I do like how they took Leprechaun and put him in the hood. It fits the type of B-movie charm, like I always talked about, is that Leprechaun is just one of those slasher villains you don't take seriously at any way, shape, or form, okay? You just take Leprechaun, put him in the hood, and it's just a goofy, good time with Leprechaun running around throughout the entire hood trying to get back a fucking flute that was stolen for him. What's so interesting about this flute, though, while he's in the hood, this flute can manipulate people into hearing what they don't want to hear or what they should be hearing. So Leprechaun got to get the flute back. So putting Leprechaun in the hood is definitely a good change of pace from this film. After considering that Leprechaun 4 in space was a fucking disaster. But like I said, Leprechaun 5 in the hood is definitely a good change of pace. And another pro for me would have to be the fact that I love the way the opening of this movie is. This movie opened up with Ice-T and one of his little gangster friends going into this little Leprechaun tunnel, or I guess you say like some type of little underground hideout where Leprechaun is at. And basically they trying to steal his shit, and Leprechaun's chain comes off in the process. And I love how that whole scene play out, because as soon as his chain comes off, you literally see Ice-T pulling weapons out of his fucking afro. We'll get more on that in the cons, but I do like how this movie kind of teased the black comedy, so it kind of make you think, oh, so they finna spoof this shit, they finna have some fun, they're not gonna take this shit too seriously. They should have, because there's a lot of shit wrong with this movie, but the fact that they had that in the beginning, it kind of makes you think that they're doing a black comedy type of movie, but that isn't what we got here. More on that in the cons. But just like I said, I do like that opening because it does indicate the kind of film that we should have saw. Another pro for me would have to be the fact that Leprechaun one-lining whips, okay? This movie has a lot of them. I mean, a lot. One of my favorite ones would have to be, a fun with weed is the best indeed, but a fun with gold is the best, I'm told. I love that line for all the right reasons, because for one, it shows what the Leprechaun is capable of and all about. The one-liner and trying to just make you laugh. This is one of them films, like I said before, I said again, it make you laugh. But at the same time, it's very frustrating for certain situations that they try to go for in this film. Things off with my first con will have to be the fact that Leprechaun felt like a guest in his own film. Literally a fucking guest, like a sidekick. You know how you got Batman and you got Robin? Well, Leprechaun is Robin while everybody else is Batman in his movie. This is a big no-no when it comes down to slasher villains. You cannot take the slasher villain out of his film and put some other shit in there that we are not supposed to fucking... Like, we're not supposed to criticize the film for that. And honestly, this is one of the movie's biggest fucking cons right there. Is taking Leprechaun out and not making this about him. So why would you put Leprechaun in a film where he's barely featured in his own film? He's only there just to come and just say some shit and then leave. When he do show up, the little bit of slashing that you do get to see him do, some of it is executed pretty good. It is pretty bloody, but well, why can't we see the Leprechaun all the time? This is his film. It's not called In the Hood featuring Leprechaun in the Hood. I mean, what the fuck? Another con for me would have to be the fucking, even though I do like some of the jokes, but one specific thing about this film that I've always kind of noticed when I was younger is that this movie felt like a fucking Scooby-Doo episode. Specifically, there's a scene where our main three protagonists is sitting down because they got to jump on Leprechaun and IT. And so they go hide in this little room. And all of a sudden, they go fist bumping. And so as they fist bump, they get to the last person on the end. And who do you think the last person on the end is? Leprechaun. And so they go to, oh, they're hollering and shit. And it just looks so weird because...
Right.
Is this a fucking real film or not? Because I swear, I thought I was watching Scooby-Doo. And that, like I said, the joke is good. Don't get me wrong. But shit like that feels forced. Like they were trying to make you go like, that's funny, I guess. It's not really funny when they're trying so hard, you know? And my next con would have to be the fact that this movie is lacking when it comes down to the killing, aka the slashing. This is a slasher film, okay? You've got to show the Leprechaun doing some shit. Like I said, they do show the Leprechaun doing something. They do show him doing his slashing, the killing. They do show that. But it's less of it, and it's just more of him just walking around and letting people get away, which we'll get back to just a second. But he's just there just to just be there. And why is it like that? And another con for me would have to be the fact that everybody in this movie are assholes. Literally everybody. You got Ice-T, who's an asshole. He's basically the big time gangster guy in the hood who made it big, and now he's an asshole out of all the fucking characters. Then you have the boys themselves, which is our main three protagonists. Then you have Leprechaun himself, who is also an asshole in the fucking film, and so you don't really know who to root for. So think about it. If I.T. the asshole, then the three boys who are trying to be this positive message in terms of rapping, and then Leprechaun is also a dick and an asshole, who are we rooting for? Because now everybody are assholes. Literally, every single character in this fucking movie are assholes. And going back to what I said that in the beginning, how IT was pulling weapons and shit out of his alpha, I do like that. However, right here in my cons is the biggest problem with that element. It's the fact that when you introduce slapstick comedy, you have got to go on with it. I repeat, if you do slapstick comedy, you got to go on with it. You can't start it and then drop it. This movie does it 1,000 fucking times. Not just in the beginning. It does it a lot. They will do a slapstick comedy, they'll stop. They'll do one, then they'll stop. It's really misleading, this fucking movie. I think this movie would have been a lot of fucking fun if they would have just went on with the slapstick comedy. Don't get me wrong, it still is so bad it's good. But I think this movie would have been straight up good if they would have just went with it. Go with the slapstick comedy. But the fact that they didn't go with it is the fucking wasted potential there. That is one of my biggest problems with this movie. It's a lot of fun, but it's so much wasted potential. And one of my biggest, and I mean one of my biggest cons in this fucking film, I kind of already touched on this, is that the Leprechaun literally blew a hole in the guy's chest. And he continued to let the other guy get away. You remember when I said that he let them get away? Yeah, he let them get away with his flute, with his gold, 100% of the time in the fucking film. When they just introduced an element that he can just do like that and blow a hole right through somebody's chest. But he continued to let them get away. You know, I love this movie. Don't be surprised where it go on the ranking, okay? Because, like I said, I like this film, but it's just certain things about this movie that just bug the shit out of me. And sometimes when you have a slasher villain, and movie companies tend to do this shit a lot. When you have a slasher villain, when you introduce a certain element or a specific power that they can do, the audience, the fans are going to be anticipating that every single time. This movie would have ended in 15 seconds if the leprechaun would have just boom, 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 blew a hole right through all their fucking chest just like that. But when you don't do that, you don't follow movie logic. You have a fucking hot mess like this fucking film. Still love the film, but it's a hot fucking mess when you continue to let the when you let the protagonist get over on the main villain of the fucking film, and they continue to do it throughout the entire fucking movie. You got a fucking problem. But my overall thought is that Leprechaun in the Hood, like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. It's so bad it's good. And this is another one of them movies where I talked about it's walk to the edge and fall the fuck off. If you haven't seen Leprechaun in the Hood, please check this one out. It's still a good time. You're going to nitpick a lot of more shit that I probably didn't want to nitpick. But, yeah. So if you want to get in touch with your boy, remember, social media link is always in the description down below. And I hope to catch you here in my next video. Make sure you consider dropping a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that fucking bell notification so when I drop another lit video for the channel, you'll be the first one to get it.